Hi, good afternoon. This is Suzan McDowell. Welcome to another episode number, who knows, of In the Circle with Suzanne. And this is my bi-weekly show where I get to talk to whoever I want about whatever I want. And before we get into my very lovely guests, I want to say, hi, ladies. It is Women's History Month. We are here. Women rule the world. I mean, you know how, was it Beyonce say, girls run the world, which I firmly believe. But we couldn't do it without, our lovely men who we adore. But I want to say happy Women's History Month. We are so proud to be here. So proud to be, I'm so proud to be one of the women of this community that gets to set an example. So thank you for tuning in to In the Circle with Suzanne. And today we're going to talk to a very handsome and talented man who made me late, which is why I'm 5 minutes late. The very handsome Yemani Mason. Hi, Yemani Mason.
Hi, Auntie Sue.
So in case you didn't hear that, he said Auntie Sue. So, he's too old to be calling me Auntie. That's the first problem. Yeah. He's too old to be
I did promise you I wasn't going to.
You did. Yeah. No, it's okay. You call me.
It's by like.
I am your auntie. I mean.
It's by.
It's okay.
It's by habit.
No problem. I'm a fabulous auntie, so no problem.
Yeah.
So normally this is what I would do, is I would normally be like, start from the beginning. Tell me your whole story. Clearly, that's not going to happen since I already know your whole story.
Yeah.
So when Yemani showed up in our lives, Yemani was cutie little, juicy little boy that we used to all just kind of play with because he was so gorgeous. And then he went through a period of just being like wild. And then now Yemani Mason is a wonderful father of three gorgeous kids.
Thank you.
I know Diana's like, that's it. We no more kids. He has a beautiful wife, Diana, and my favorite sister, also my only sister, is his mom, Andrea. Hi, Andrea. Hi, Andy. And so I am actually very proud to be here with my nephew, who is my client now.
Yes.
It's kind of cray-cray.
Yeah.
It's kind of cray-cray.
Yeah.
So anyway, I am actually going to ask you this question. Tell me all about yourself. Start from the beginning.
So, well, thank you for having me.
You're
First
welcome.
of all, Auntie.
You're welcome. Nephew.
So my name is Yemani Mason.
Yes.
And I am her nephew.
Yes, you are my nephew.
which is kind of like high up on the chain of accomplishments, hopefully your favorite nephew at this point,
Listen, shifter, stop.
Definitely. Okay.
Shifter.
All right. I'm up there though.
Yes,
right, I'm up there.
Well, because you are a nephew, but shift up.
Yeah, it's a little. Yeah, I mean he's older too,
Always.
so that makes sense.
Yes,
I mean, you've known him a little bit longer.
Yes, I have.
Let's put it that way.
Listen, before I had Sydney, Shifter was my favorite kid ever, and then when I had Sydney, he was like, "Really? Sorry, kiddo."
Yeah, this happens, So my name's Yemani Mason. I am the founder and one of the people that are behind this event, Livity Haven, that's coming up on Saturday, March 23rd. My background actually started out as a event planner / promoter in high school. I don't know if you remember.
You did?
Yeah. So I used to do, so my first entrepreneurial event actually was an event called Caribbean Full Blast in high school that we did down at the skating rink.
How old were you?
We were like 15.
Get out of here. Listen.
Not even.
You Masons, first of all.
Yeah.
Not even a game. You know how I feel about the whole thing.
Yeah.
The Mason, that whole Mason bloodline running through you, and we all
and
know.
The McDowell blood.
The McDowell blood for sure.
Yeah.
It's a pedigree.
Yeah.
But the drive and the intelligence that the Mason family has is on some another level. And you know that I know. Yeah. I know because I know, and also because I know because I do work outside of this family that the Mason blood is some serious blood.
Yeah, thank you. So. Thank you. Shout out to Pipa.
Whatever.
Your favorite person in the world.
I'm shouting out Grandpa. I'm shouting out Dr.
No, definitely shout out to
I'm shouting out my sister.
Definitely shout out to the great Gladstone McDowell, the first. But yeah, so I started off doing that in high school. That was my first kind of entrepreneurial journey prior to selling candy and
my Cutco knives.
Yeah, and well, no, that was a little bit later. That was like college days.
Please scam me into some Cutco knives, y'all.
Yeah, definitely. Well, they were the best knives you ever got in your life.
Yeah, I still have those knives.
Definitely. So before all that, we started doing this event called Caribbean Full Blast, at the skating rink right here in Kendall. And it was an event that was designed to fill a need within the community, which there was no all ages events for the Afro-Caribbean community in a safe space. I mean, there was house parties and there was things of that nature, but you would go and they would get shut down by the police and there would be fights and there's no security or police. It wasn't, it was just like kids kind of just doing kid stuff. But we wanted to create a space because there was all these events for different communities that were happening, downtown,
but not the black,
but not the Afro-Caribbean community. So we saw a huge need, something that we wanted to be able to go to that nobody was actually facilitating. So we started this event. Actually, we didn't have no money whatsoever. Like literally, we went to Tom. Shout out to Tom for giving a bunch of 15 and 16-year-olds an opportunity because we went to him and we didn't even have money to design a flyer. So we sat there with Tom, who's this older Caucasian guy who has no absolutely idea of what the culture is.
Yeah, but he believed in you.
But he believed in us. And so we sat there with him for like an hour or two, like, no, Tom, can you add this for us? And this is like before Photoshop and stuff, mind you. I'm not going to date myself or you, but this was like before Canva. Let's put it like that. You know what I'm saying? Maybe not quite Photoshop, but you had needed skills back then. You needed genuine skills. So we sat there, we did it. We begged him to give us the venue for free. We did a door split with him. He took the concession.
You did all this at 15?
I begged my parents to give me money to print flyers. We printed 5,000 flyers, went to every single high school.
Like $250,
listen,
please.
Snuck into every single high school during lunch, promoted, recruited promoters within each school to sell pre-sale tickets.
God.
We went to every house party for like 2 or 3 months, right?
Did it.
And we did the first event, Martin Luther King weekend, and we had 1,500 kids.
What?
Yeah. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Listen, nature hates a vacuum.
No.
Nature hates a vacuum. You created something that needed to be created.
That was a need, and that was in high school. So we did that for quite a few times. We did like 2 or 3 per year up until I graduated, and each event had at least 1,000 people. I think at our biggest we had like 2,000 people.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Oh yeah. And it was good money for a 15, 16-year-old.
Yes,
Even though we were splitting the door, not getting any concessions. And best believe Tom upgraded everything after our events.
Tom's like,
there was like brand new flat screen TVs in there. It was like,
Tom
man.
saw some money.
Oh,
Tom
definitely.
Was like,
Definitely. But by definitely well deserved because he gave us an opportunity that nobody else would have probably at that point.
And then when you make this event into a massive, huge event, the origination is always going to be Tom.
Definitely. But we had a dream and we had will and we had drive, and that's really all it takes in life.
Really all it takes.
So this event is kind of full circle because after that, I went into college actually and had another opportunity. I had another mentor, Joey Butterfugal, who you know very well.
Yes,
does a lot
Joey.
of big events here in South Florida.
Best of the best.
And he used to have a weekly event called Madhouse.
Oh,
and at the time, he needed somebody to come in that was in college. I hadn't even started college yet, but I was well known as the young Caribbean event promoter. So he recruited me actually my summer going into college, which is the same summer that you see me doing Cutco knives. And then when I got that opportunity, I was like, I'm not selling Cutco knives no more.
Wow.
So then before I even started college, he gave me this opportunity to reinvent this event that he had called Madhouse into an event called Crazy with a K. We ended up starting to promote Crazy and did a bunch of events that he was doing that summer, like with Kanye West and T.I. helping him promote that events. And then we developed such a good rapport that, he brought me on as actually the main promoter. So he actually took a backseat.
And I knew none of this.
Yeah, and I don't know if you knew this.
I knew none of this.
I mean, this was a little, I'm not going to say again how long ago this was, but if you know, you know.
I was busy like this, raising my kid and raising my company.
Definitely. So, Joey gave us that opportunity. We turned it into the #1 weekly event for South Florida college students.
Wow.
We would have over 1,000 college students every single week.
Very good.
Every Friday.
Respect.
And the event was called Crazy. It was under my company was the actual main promoter.
You had a company?
Prince Promotions, which was actually my nickname for quite some while. So a lot of people from college might know me. Yeah, well, Bob is more family.
Bob is a whole
nobody really know Bob.
All right. So Prince.
But yeah, so that's what a lot of people knew me as in college because that was the name of the company, Prince Promotions. And then after that, I decided as I got older and went into my major in college, that I wanted to do something a little bit more.
What was your major?
Corporate.
Business,
so
right?
my major was international business management at FIU, which is actually a top 5 program in the country, which is crazy for a FIU.
No, but FIU has become a real.
No, now it's become
a real.
It's a powerhouse. I think it's one of the largest universities actually in the country. But their international business program, which I don't even know how I got into it, but their program is actually, I think it's number 2. Like I think it's Harvard and FIU. Like it's up there.
It's gotten up there.
Like it's up there, that program. So
I got very, very hard to get up
big
there.
time. So,
by the way, you know that they're the funders of the South Beach Wine and Food Festival. So FIU is actually my client.
Really? That's awesome.
Yes, they fund that thing. Anyway, go ahead.
Well, they fund actually the World Happiness Festival, which we're now a part of officially.
Oh, good.
So hopefully next time they'll actually fund Livity Haven.
Yes.
Shout out to FIU alumni.
FIU.
Please, if you see this, somebody over there, so kindly, you have an alumni here that's bigging you guys up. Like, thank you for the degree, actually, first of all.
Which you earned.
Which I earned. They I don't know how I got into that program, but I got in somehow by the skin of my teeth and decided, I wanted to really go more into that world. So, I started off by getting some jobs through, I don't know if you remember, this is, again, I'm going to probably date myself, but this is when BlackBerry was still kind of popular.
Oh my God.
While iPhone was coming out.
Yes,
so,
yes.
I did this job for, I had a program actually, it was called Professional BBA Program, where it allowed you to work full time and still get your degree. So actually most of the people that were in the program were actually older. They were like in their late 20s, early 30s. There was even some people in the program that were like in their 40s and 50s.
Wow, yeah.
And so it allowed me to go to school and work at the same time because, at the time, this was when the economy was like in shambles,
Yeah.
So, I did that, I ended up getting a lot of experience working for some of these big tech companies, BlackBerry, ended up working for Google when they launched their Chrome.
I remember when you started your whole like social media ads thing, and I knew nothing about it, which is embarrassing considering I own an ad agency.
Well, this was before.
But at the time, I didn't know.
This was before social media. So I got fired from Google actually, and I got fired because we went to this event that was called that was actually a top secret event because they were launching the Chromebook. I don't know if you know the Chromebook, but that was before they launched the Chromebook. So I was brought in to help, create this marketing plan with everything with the Chromebook, and so they flew us out to this casino in the middle of the desert in Las Vegas called Red Rock Casino. That's basically like its own little city within like a city. And we were supposed to be like, oh, hush, hush, hush. And they gave us these Google Plus at the time. That was their social media network. So they're like, oh, take pictures and share it within the Google Plus community. I ended up taking a picture and sharing it with the world. Apparently, I wasn't supposed to. And as soon as the event ended, they called me and they're like, oh, you got fired. So but it actually worked out perfectly. It was actually the catalyst for me going back into the entrepreneurial world.
That's great.
So I had already kind of started this whole social media.
You know how God works, first of all.
Definitely.
You know how God does these little things where it doesn't make sense, and the next thing you're like, oh my God, I'm in the perfect place.
Absolutely. So we started doing that, social media marketing. Somebody, again, I had a great mentor that gave me an opportunity, made the most out of it, did that for quite some while when social media marketing actually wasn't really doing a thing. And
I remember like, how do you know this and I don't know this?
Absolutely. So, we did that for quite a few years, really successful at it. Got to a point where I kind of got a little burnt out. I was working with a lot of big companies. I didn't feel like I was making as much of an impact in the community, even though I was making good money. Wasn't really making that much of an impact in the community, and just started to kind of not really feel it as much. There was a lot of like things happening just with clients and just my life. And then I had Olivia, my first daughter.
Oh my God, Livy. Hi, Livy. Yeah. First of all, we have to stop. You already know. Yeah. Shout out to Livy. Yes, you are a superstar. Absolutely, you should be on national television.
Definitely.
Livy, I have never met a person in my life like your 7-year-old daughter.
Yeah, going on 17.
She makes me tired, and how is even like I make people tired.
Definitely.
So, Livy,
you found your match.
She's even more than me.
You found your.
I found my match. I
Definitely.
did. I found like a little mini me. So yeah, Livy's. Shout out to Livy. Hi, Livy.
Yeah, shout out to Livy. So,
and if we didn't spend like 2-3 minutes talking about Livy, she could be like, "How come you only mentioned me?" Yeah,
definitely.
Livy,
Olivia.
Yeah,
she's actually part of the inspiration behind Livity.
Yes, Livity
has a name, even though it means something completely.
Yes. Well, actually, that's a good segue.
Yeah.
We also have Ashton, and we also have
Ashton and Addison.
We love Ashton and Addison. Ashton's so handsome. Addie is a teeny tiny, but she's fabulous.
Absolutely.
Anyway, so we're gonna get to Livity because I don't want to.
So Livity, yeah.
So first of all,
Let's get into
my
it.
first question, what is Livity?
So,
what does that even mean?
So Livity is actually means, in the simplest term, it means living in divinity. And it's actually a Rastafarian term, which is originated in Jamaica, where we're from. And there's a lot more behind it. You know, I don't want to definitely water it down or in any way, you know, say that there's not more behind that term, because there is, but just for simplistic purposes, living in divinity, livity.
That's perfect.
Right?
Livity.
Finding that source within you, that we all have, that one source, you know, and living within that divine presence. So, you know, Livity Haven, adding the haven to it, you know, haven is a safe space, right?
It is a safe space.
For animals and humans.
It creates like you're like, a haven is immediately a safe space, a place you can go that you're going to be happy.
Exactly. So, you know, haven is a safe space. So you combine the two, you know, we're creating this safe space for people to come and connect back to themselves and the divine that is within them to start living more in alignment with their purpose, which is kind of full circle to what I told you. You know, I wanted to live more in my purpose. So, you know, as I evolved and grew, you know, me personally as a human being, you know, that's, you know, there's a lot on my journey, right, that brought me to this point, you know, and there was a lot of breaking points and there was a lot of changes on the path, and some of them were very sharp changes, you know, and learning to deal with that and adjust to that. You know, I had to learn these things. You know, I had to learn about,
in order to not go, you know, to just manage your life.
Absolutely. How to learn about the law of attraction, right? And the law of reciprocity and the law of, you know, all these laws of the universe that they don't teach us in school. They don't teach us these things.
They do not.
They don't teach us how to manage our emotions.
No.
And, you know, how to regulate our lymphatic system. You know,
to breathe.
Absolutely. And with major changes in life, especially with the days that we live in now in modern society, you know, it's so easy to get just completely thrown off and discouraged and just, you know, depressed. And that's why we see so much depression.
And the phone?
Oh, then that doesn't make it easier.
The phone is a lot.
Because all you see is people posting their highlights on social media. And it's like you trying to watch a basketball game, and the only thing you're seeing is the highlights. You don't.
Highlights.
Oh yeah, you don't see all the turnovers. You don't see all the.
You know. Yes, you're right. You don't see the actual mistakes that got you to the victory. You just see the victory, and then you learn nothing.
Exactly. So that's what Livity is about. Livity is about teaching people how to better themselves and how to better know who they are themselves, because we're so drowned out now, like you mentioned, with the phone and all this information that we're
There's a proliferation of information.
You know, we forgot who we are.
Yeah.
You know, we forgot that we're connected to a source that no matter what religion you partake in, no matter what
there is a
spiritual
higher power, there's a source.
Absolutely. I think we can all agree on
there's
that.
There's a source. Yeah. You know? I mean, and that source is the source of supply. You know what I mean? Like, it's always a source of supply. It's coming from there.
Exactly.
So yeah. So when you first told me about this festival, I was like, what is a mindfulness festival? Yeah. But then the more that we've, you know, worked on it for the last couple of few weeks, months, whatever, and that we've gotten to know the story and understand and work with you and your team and everything, and the facilitators and the artists, you know, the more you know, it's kind of like, wow, it really actually is a great idea. Yeah. Especially because it's focusing on the Afro-Caribbean consumer market.
Diaspora, whatever.
Diaspora, or whatever, because it's something. Like, they don't normally put like Black people with yoga or Black people with mindfulness or Black people with breathing. They're like, you know what I mean? They have different tropes for us. So, but we absolutely should be in this space.
Absolutely. Yeah. And you're right. You know, I go to a lot of these mindfulness events, and very little, I mean, you see some participants, but for me, it was very important that there was representation, not just from the participant side, but also for the people that you see up on the stage and that are facilitating the workshops. You know, and it is unfortunately a thing where, you know, not to say there's not opportunities there, right? But the people who do have the experience, a lot of times, they don't necessarily come from these communities, even though they have great experience doing these modalities, but just on that stage. So us being able to provide a platform where it's more inclusive, there's more unity, you know, it's not just for Afro-Caribbean people per se, right? Because, you know, our first pillar, we have 5 pillars. The first one is unite. And that's truly what we're trying to do. Yeah. You know, we're trying to unite people, you know, no matter where you're from, race, religion,
age, gender,
ethnicity, doesn't matter. You know, these are all these are all things that you experience as a human
Yeah, they're
being.
universal principles.
As a human being.
Yeah.
But yes, it was very important for us to create a safe space for Afro-Caribbean people as well, and have that representation of diversity in terms of what people are seeing from the workshop facilitators, from the panelists, from the people that are actually on the stages. And there's a lot of wonderful people that we have that are going to be facilitating. So I'm very excited.
Real quick, we're going to say this festival is Saturday, March 23rd at Virginia Key Beach. LivityHaven.com. We're going to get back to that, but I want to say that in the middle. So tell me like, so I'm going to show up at the festival. What am I going to see? How's it going to feel? Who am I going to, like, what's going to happen?
So the event is actually 12 hours. Doors open at 11.
You're going to be so
doors
tired
are done
after
at
hour number 7.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm going to go see Shift after that in Cali. Go see
I want to come.
Yeah, that's going to be a nice little vacay to go see my niece after.
Yes.
Relaxation up in California. But that being said, the event starts at 11. It ends at 11. Doors, like, I'm talking like everybody out by 11. But so it's not. So we're not going past that. Like people, 11. No, this is everybody out the park at 11.
Yeah.
But our workshops kick off actually at 12. So prior to 12, we have volunteer opportunities. Even prior to 11, like at 8:30, we have a beach cleanup for anybody who wants to come and participate.
Oh, good. Okay.
That's going to be amazing because you get free entrance and a complimentary ticket. With the beach cleanup, it's going to be at 8:30 a.m. All the way up until about 10, and then we're gonna have this really cool mandala ceremony for the people who are there for the volunteer. So if you're looking to volunteer,
what is a mandala ceremony?
It's creating like these mandalas out on the beach and within the forest, and it's a whole thing. Go on the website, go on the Eventbrite.
Yeah.
But there's going to be a big opportunity for those who want to participate prior to the event. But the event itself actually kicks off at noon.
Okay.
So all of our workshops, our panels, our kids zone starts at noon, and basically throughout the day we're gonna have these three different zones, right? And we're gonna be doing different mindfulness modalities at each zone, and also we're gonna be doing mindful talks and panels and just performances.
What are the zones?
So the first zone is the kids zone. So that was actually probably the most important zone for us, because when you go to a lot of these festivals, it's kind of like an afterthought. They may have a bounce house or a little playground or a clown or face painting, but there's not really much of sustenance there for them to actually go home and learn. So that was very important for us. So we curated a whole program with Imagi Tribe, who's a organization here. They're a nonprofit, for anybody who wants to look them up, that specifically does these kinds of events for kids, mindfulness events. So we created a whole program with them where we're teaching kids how to do active meditation. So not just sit down and meditate, but actually meditate, on the move and, incorporating movement and stuff into it, where we're teaching them how to use their breath as alchemy, to regulate their emotions. How to do yoga. We're going to have this really fun animal yoga program for them, where we're going to be incorporating different animals.
Yoga, have the little goats.
All that, right? Yeah. I mean, it's the yoga poses, but it makes it fun. So these are things that make them move, arts and crafts,
fun,
drumming,
yoga,
song circles, these things that are fun, but it actually is teaching them something of value.
And
right?
the thing that I like about that is that you're starting young. These kids are going to come to expect this. This is not going to be something extra that you have to do. It's going to be like, of course we're doing this. You're normalizing mindfulness.
Absolutely.
For kids. And
absolutely.
I mean, you could start there. You could change our whole generation.
Big time. And that was the key. The key is the next generation, right? That's what we want as parents. We want our children to be better than us.
Yeah.
And there's so many things competing for their attention nowadays that, it's important that we have events like this, right? And so, that's the kids zone. That's going to be going on throughout the day for the kids. And then we're going to be doing pretty much almost the same thing for the adults, but a lot more intentional, a lot more focused, right? So yoga, meditation, breath work, sound healing, these different mindfulness modalities that people may already know, they may not know, and
it's going to be a fun day.
And it's going to be a fun day. And these are all, again, active things as well. And then up on our main stage, so that's going to be the beach zone. We got the kids zone. And then on the main stage, we're going to have a bunch of really, really great panels with some really, really powerful panelists and moderators. So we're going to be talking about everything from conscious parenting to, what it means to be a vegan, to, happiness as a human right. We partner with some really great organizations to basically host these panels, like World Happiness Foundation.
So tell me real quick, right. The World Happiness. This event is an official event of the World Happiness.
Correct. So
Festival
we are
Day.
an official festival of World Happiness Fest, which happens to actually be this week. So initially we weren't, but World Happiness Day actually just passed. It was yesterday, and it was this World Happiness Day is something that was chartered by the United Nations. Every country in the world basically signed on to it to declare March 20th, which was yesterday, World Happiness Day.
The day before the solstice.
This organization was basically founded around the basis of basically bringing people together to help celebrate this occasion. And obviously throughout the different countries, they've done many events all over the world. And so they just happened to be here in Miami celebrating their fest for World Happiness Day.
Serendipity.
And they found out about our festival.
Serendipity.
And they decided, hey, we want to help you guys host this, and we want to bring you guys in as part of our festivities of the week. And they were going to do their own event on Saturday at the band show, but then they said, well, we don't want to compete because this is right in alignment. So we ended up basically partnering with them to do the event, and they brought in a lot of great resources as well. People, they're doing a panel that they've really helped, us to amplify our message and our reach. So yes, by all means, we are an official festival as part of the World Happiness Fest and their week of activities.
So then, so what happens at 7 o'clock? So we have noon.
So we have noon up until about sundown, which is right around 7 now with daylight savings. And then at 7 o'clock, we got a really amazing stage show set of performances by some really great, big, conscious artists. Absolutely. So we have our headliners, Jesse Royale, who's a Grammy-nominated reggae artist that's just blowing up. He's a hit maker, well known in that reggae revival lane of conscious new reggae. We have Johan Marley.
It's the year of the Marleys.
Yes.
The year of Jamaica.
And he's a sensation. He's been, just out there just literally, spreading that legacy,
doing his grandfather's work.
Absolutely. The legacy of his father, Stephen, the legacy of his grandfather. He's carrying the torch very well and making that name proud. So, we, in addition to that, we also have Young Wilding, who I know you know.
How's it go?
Very well. Good energy. I don't need no negativity around me. Yeah, high frequency. Yeah, so I mean, he had a song that went viral last year, Good Energy, and he's been killing it as well. And doing his thing.
I want to just point out, Good Energy. If you go to your Instagram and you pull up a picture and you want to share it and you say, "Let me add some music," literally, Good Energy is either the top one. And, and you didn't like. Who is this person? And everyone, that's how he got famous, is that
song.
Instagram,
well, it went viral. Yeah, I mean, the song, I don't even know if it played on radio. To be honest with you, not that I listen to radio.
But he's an independent artist.
Oh, absolutely.
But he didn't need radio.
No, he didn't need radio.
To IG.
Absolutely, and that's fantastic. And these are all young artists as well. So they're young, they have a message, so they're going to draw in the kids as well. It's not, not to say nothing's wrong with other artists, but it was very important to us that we had a diverse lineup that could appeal to everybody, not just adults but also kids, because we want the kids to feel like
the energy.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, pun intended.
So in addition to that, we have Tessellated, who's more on the dance hall side, kind of like Sean Paul, but very much conscious still.
Okay.
He actually has some really popular songs. One of them actually was nominated for Emmy. Yeah, so he's actually a Grammy-nominated and Emmy-nominated artist.
Pretty good.
And producer, and super talented guy. He had a song that was picked up by Apple called "I Just Learned Some Jazz Today." It was a commercial that a lot of people heard. It got nominated for Emmy.
Nice.
So those are our 4 headliners, and then in addition to that, we have the Divine Feminine in our lineup that's going to be represented by Ashley Ire, who's a local reggae singer-songwriter. We have Peachko, who's very much in that same conscious lane as far as rapping. And then we also have Ashley Ire, who's also a local singer-songwriter, very much soulful, kind of like a Lauryn Hill kind of vibe. And so that they're rounding out the lineup, between our headliners and then these wonderful female
and the feminine.
Oh, absolutely.
You have to have a balance at all times.
Have to have a balance. That was very important for us as well, that we had equal representation.
Yes, you have to have a balance.
And the lineup isn't just reggae. You got Afrobeat with Young Wilding. You have a little bit of hip hop, and that in Peachka, and then you have a little bit of R&B in Kaylin Arnold. So it's not just a reggae festival or a reggae show. There's a wide variety of artists and music that's going to be represented. But the most important thing is it's all within a family-friendly environment. They're all spreading a very conscious message, that is going to resonate with people and just amplify the energy.
So, okay, so we only have a minute. So you have a special now. The tickets are $44. However, you get 50% off. So essentially tickets are $22.
Yep.
Kids under
12 are free. Absolutely.
It is at Virginia Key Beach. 8:30 beach cleanup. 11 o'clock, doors open. 12 o'clock is the ceremony.
Yep.
And then the start of the facilitation in 3 zones. And then 7 o'clock is when the reggae kicks off. And by 11 o'clock, we're not saying you got to go.
No, but you got to be out.
But you got to get the hell out.
You got to be out.
You got to get the heaven out.
Yeah, so we're not going anywhere near past 11 o'clock. So
Okay.
I think the show actually ends officially at like 10:20, 10:30, depending on if an encore happens and stuff like that. But yeah, on the website right now we have a very, very limited promotion that is going to cut off once we've reached a certain ticket number for 50% off. But you have to go to the website. And the website
LivityHaven.com.
The website is www.livityhaven.com. That's LIVITY Haven.com. Absolutely. And you can check us out on social media as well. Instagram, our handle is Livity_Haven. That's LIVITY_Haven. Okay. As well as TikTok and all the other social media platforms. But yeah, go on the website, take advantage now while that promo is going on, because it's not going to last long. I can guarantee you that. We're very close to that threshold.
Wrapping it up.
And yeah, Livity Haven, Saturday, Virginia Key Beach. Ready to see you guys there.
Thank you, nephew. Thank you, Monty.
Yes. Thank you, Auntie.
Big up, McDowell. Big up, Mason.
Yes, much love.